First, I have to ask the panel to a favor. Can you just hold on for this? I will come back to it. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Holm Heide. I know many of you know Karen Dolva, my CEO, but I am the Chief Communications Officer in No Isolation. And we are a company that tries to live up to our name. We develop communication technology for people that live in social isolation, and our mission is also in our name. We want there to be no isolation. Because loneliness is a public health problem that affects, I dare say, all of us. I'm sure all of you have felt it, maybe once or maybe several times in your lives. But we know that this is a problem that is quite normal, and it's also just a feeling of having less social interaction than you wish you had. So it's a subjective feeling, but it's also a problem that you can avoid. Over time, we know that mental health issues, like loneliness, has very serious consequences, both on individual levels, but also on societal levels. And we're the most vulnerable to feeling isolated when something major happens in our lives. It can be many things. It could be losing your job or moving cities, maybe getting a diagnosis, or losing your partner, and a big one, having a baby. And when we know this, we can also prevent it, and that's where we come in as a company. We find and then we define these groups in society, and we develop solutions for their exact challenges. Which brings me to this little fella. So this is AV1. And AV1 is a remote-controlled avatar for children that for some reason needs to stay out of school for a long period of time. I can hold it up for you here. So the typical AV1 user will be a child that's diagnosed with, for instance, cancer or chronic fatigue syndrome or heart disease, or maybe suffering from school refusal, which is increasingly the case, or maybe just had a very serious surgery and needs to stay out of school for a long time. AV1 becomes their eyes, ears, and voice in the classroom in the months and sometimes years that they need to stay in confinement. It doesn't have a screen, which is the first question I always get, so I will answer it. And that is because the kids that use AV1, they might be at home in their PJs, in their bed, or at the hospital, maybe with the lights off. They don't want to be visible. And AV1 is a personal tool, like an avatar in a game. It's a representation of you, and you give it a name of your own choosing, and you also decorate it with, for instance, your favorite football team or your favorite Star Wars character or Avengers heroes, like we've seen everything in the robots that come back to us. So AV1 is right now in around 1,000 classrooms across Europe. We sell it to public sector, so it's schools and local authorities and the people that are responsible for the education of these kids who too often never come back to school or even drop out. AV1 is also a much more cost-efficient solution than, for instance, home tuition and a teacher going to see a child and then it turns up and it shows that the child is too sick to be educated or has to sleep all day. So since we started in 2015, we've actually expanded to several markets. AV1 can be found in 13 countries, and we are now focusing on the Nordics and the UK, where we've also seen a steady increase in the sales to public sector in the last year. And as I only have 4 minutes today, I wanted to give you a short introduction to No Isolation, our market, and also how we do product development. But if you want to learn more about our second product, which is for seniors, our business models, and our plans going forward, I'm very happy to have with me Ole Morten Sætervik, our chairman of the board, and we'll be in meeting room 8, where we'd also be happy to tell you about how we're now starting to see black numbers. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for a good presentation. Could you tell a bit about your business model?
Yes, so we have a full different product as well. So this is a B2B product, so we sell it to local authorities and municipalities, and also organizations sometimes and charities. Comp, which is a screen we make for seniors, is a B2C and a B2B product, where we sell it through Elkjøp to private customers and Elgiganten in Sweden, and we sell it through the public health system to institutions and municipality when it's in the B2B sector. We have many business models, yes.
Thanks.
And is it a one-time sell, or do you have a monthly subscription attached to it as well?
You can choose for yourself. So we know that there are so many different realities for these kids. Some need it for a few months, some need it for a year, and some, as we mean, every municipality should own AV1s, and then they pay a service package when it's actually in use. So you can actually own the hardware, but then you pay a monthly subscription of 1,000 kroners, because there's a running 4G subscription inside of this that is also unlimited 4G. And there's also an extended guarantee, so if you break it, you get a free one the first time you break it, because we want the kids to run around with it and drop it, and then they'll get a new one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, No Isolation.